On this video, I'm talking about the Phoenix housing market for December 2019, including Phoenix housing market predictions 2020. Hi, I'm Amy Hayslett. I'm a realtor in Phoenix, Arizona, and on my channel, I talk about life in Phoenix, moving to Arizona, and the Phoenix real estate market. So if that's of interest to you, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my weekly videos. Now, let's start talking about the statistics for the Phoenix housing market, December 2019. So the November numbers are in, but before we talk about the statistics, these numbers come from ARMLS, or the Arizona Regional Multi-Listing Service. And when I speak of Greater Phoenix, I'm including Maricopa County, which includes the city of Phoenix and surrounding areas. We're going to start by taking a look at pricing, and pricing continued to be strong in the month of November with a median monthly price of $295,000. Comparing that to the yearly median price from January through November of $285,000 shows that pricing pressure is still strong, and we expect prices to continue to go up through the end of the year. Now let's compare this year to last year. So again, the monthly median price for November was $295,000. Compare that to last November when it was $270,000, and that's an increase of over 9%. And comparing year-over-year pricing, we were at $285,000 this year for median prices January through November, whereas last year we were at $270,000. Again, a good increase of over 5.5%. Now let's take a look at supply and demand. And we'll start with active listings, which is really the supply of homes for sale. In 2019, we ended November with 13,223 active listings. Compare that to 2018 when we had 16,855 listings. That's a decrease in supply of 21.5%. Now going to demand, let's look at the sold listings. This year we saw 6,178 homes sold versus last year when we saw 5,778 homes sold. That's an increase of almost 7%. So we're seeing less supply and more demand as we head into the end of the year. So with low supply and high demand, it's no surprise that homes are selling faster, which brings us to our next statistic of days on market. The amount of time it's taking to sell a home is decreasing, with days on market of 55 this November versus 62 last November. That's a decrease of over 11%. Now, all this is good news for sellers, but you still want to price your home correctly right out of the gate. Many sellers make the mistake that they'll price their home high with the idea of coming down in price. Buyers are keenly aware of the number of days on market on average and the median days on market. So if you accumulate too many days on market, then try to adjust your pricing strategy, you may end up making less on your home than if you priced it right out of the gate. Now let's take a look at months of inventory. Months of inventory is defined as the amount of time it takes to sell through the existing number of homes for sale if no new homes come on the market. Now, traditionally, a seller's market would be anywhere from 0 to 4 months of inventory, and a buyer's market would be somewhere from 6+ months of inventory. Anything in between there would be considered a neutral market. And you can see by the numbers that we are hovering right around 2 months of inventory, depending on if you're looking at just the monthly numbers or the yearly numbers. That is a very low supply of inventory and shows us that we're in a seller's market here in Phoenix. Now let's talk about December. So the pending price index is expecting prices to continue to rise. And as I mentioned before, the median price of homes from January to November is currently running around $285,000 cumulatively. That number is expected to rise and hit $287,500 by the end of December. We also came into December with a large number of homes already under contract, with 9,300 359 homes already under contract. That's over 16.5% increase from last year when there was 8,030 homes under contract. And we're projected to end December with 7,200 sales for the month versus 6,303 last year. So the numbers continue to be strong into the end of the year. So what does this mean for the Phoenix housing market in 2020? Well, supply should continue to be low overall. We will get a little bit more supply as we finish through the holidays and more sellers look to put their homes on the market in January. But we'll also see more buyers as we head into our busy selling season that starts to ramp up and really get hot in March. Buyers are going to have a hard time and find themselves in multiple offers in many situations. And many buyers are going to look at new homes as an option. Thus, new home prices should go up higher and at a faster rate, I believe, than resale homes. The good news for buyers is interest rates should stay relatively low with the upcoming election. For sellers, it should continue to be a great time to sell your home, but it's still important to price your home right and have it show well. Even in the great market that we've had this year, 15% of the homes that were on the market failed to sell, ending up with a canceled or expired listing contract. Now to answer the question, do I think we're headed towards a Phoenix housing bubble? No, I don't think so. The market is very different back from when we had the crash. So we're seeing record numbers of people moving to Maricopa County and the Phoenix area, and we're seeing record numbers of job growth right now. We're not seeing the frenzy of inexperienced investors trying to make a quick buck, buying homes and sitting on them empty for months and months. Also, lending guidelines are a lot different from what they were back before the crash. Now, while we've seen some pretty significant price increases in the last few years, let's get some perspective and look at where prices were in June of 2006 when the market peaked before the bubble burst. At that time, median prices were $270,000, and that's the number we hit last year in 2018 with a median price. So it took us almost 12 years to get back to that price. And today, we're expected to end the year right around $287,500. So to answer the question, no, I don't think we're headed towards a bubble. So where do you think the Phoenix housing market is heading? Will prices continue to go up? Are we in store for another Phoenix housing market bubble? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're thinking about moving to Arizona, check out my video about what you need to know about buying a home in Phoenix. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.